reducing money spent on professional sport and money on it. Today, I'm going to be presenting two mechanized arguments and 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 two important arguments and why we should spend money on infrastructures and hunger relief and all these things. So we're not saying we're going to ban money that's spending on professional sport. We're saying we're going to spend less money on it, and rather than unnecessary amounts of them, because in the real world we spend $5 billion every year on sports. Yeah. So I'm gonna move on to my first argument. Instead of wasting money on expensive tickets, we should invest things on that actually benefit society. And other countries spend billions of dollars on sports, which doesn't really have to do with fixes any real world problem. So basically, what I'm trying to say is like, what I'm trying to say is that like it actually doesn't fix any problem in the real world. So by fixing, let me silent. So
POI.
yeah.
So you are saying that it is putting money onto sports is unnecessary and it can't improve the world. But actually, I think there's a lot of fans that watch the sports and they actually improve the economy and improve the fans' feeling.
Yeah, it improves the economy, but like it doesn't fix any big problems. Like, does making the economy better fix the poor countries? Like, not a lot if you just say that. Like, it's like the economy goes over the sports part, not the other parts of the economy too. So like you're saying like if I go to 7-Eleven and I buy more milk, it's like the milk is company will earn more money, not like the country. So I don't know what you're saying. So I'm going to continue with my argument. By spending more money on infrastructure and hunger and stuff, these investments will be more essential for developing the country that needs like necessary development. And just think about it, without these infrastructure support, you wouldn't be able to train these like people or even have these like stadiums to have these events. So like you're saying like without the other team is trying to say like without these things that they could still run the like these sports and stuff like you don't even have infrastructure. How are you gonna like train these players? So that just proves why. And I'll move on to my second argument. It's about even like spending a lot of money on sports will actually make like these ticket prices go up. And you know why these ticket prices go up? There's multiple reasons why. So like these players are paid a lot of money and you need to pay them these like salary, you need to like make the ticket prices higher. And instead of wasting money on these like, sports and paying these players a lot, I'm not saying we're gonna ban all of it, but like we're gonna spend less money. So like if these higher ticket prices keep continuing, it will make it like unaffordable for poor countries for like people. So
POI.
yeah.
If there's
You can't
no
read POI, it's protected time.
Oh,
So
okay.
so like if these countries like these poor people couldn't afford these tickets, like this industry will slowly die out. Since that they're like some countries, lower countries GDP is like even lower than like how much money we spend on sports. So like these sports prices will slowly go up, and it will kill the industry slower if like we don't stop right now. And eventually, the average Joe couldn't afford these tickets, that just proves why it will make the industry worse. So in conclusion, our team is trying to say spending money, we can spend more money on infrastructures and hunger and these essential stuff, but not these like things like on sports which will like not really make the country better. I'm done.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ophylia. As the first speaker, I strongly disagree with the motion. The House believes that the amount of money in professional sports should be reduced. Professional sports often include high-value transactions like player transfers and sponsorships. This motion means that we should lower the money used in the professional sports. And we think that and we will prove that if we lower the amount of money used in professional sports, it will cause harm on economics, athletes, and quality of performance. My opponent says that money in the sports team can't help anything else, like out of sports, but sports money does help other things through taxes. The proposition says that sports money doesn't help anyone else, but that's completely wrong. Players can pay income tax on their millions. Clubs pay other taxes on their profits. That tax money goes directly to other places like schools, hospitals, roads, public services. Yes.
We're not saying that by lowering this thing, we're going to make the whole clubs broke. They're still going to be able to pay income tax for everything they do. So why does this really matter?
Your teammate just said that the money in the sports team cannot help things out of the sports. So that I'm just like rebutting, and I'm not like, and it does make sense because like the money used on the sports can also help the country to improve on different ways. And my claim is that the professional sports helps the economy create thousands of jobs. It's not just about the players. Professional sports employs so many people. Coaches and trainers, cleaners and security guards, media people, and other like many people can come in this way. So in fact, one big football club and or maybe other clubs can create over many jobs. That is like many families who can pay their bills because of professional sport. The proposition says that they should use the money for schools, but where do you think that the money comes from? Taxes. Clubs and the players pay millions in taxes every year. That money already goes to schools, hospitals, and roads. Cutting sports money would exactly like reduce the tax income, meaning less money for public services. That would hurt people, and schools and hospitals not help them. And my second claim is that if we cut money, the best athletes will leave. Imagine you're a top footballer. Your team says that we are cutting your salary, but another team says that we are going to pay you millions. Where will you go? To one that says more, of course. Reducing money means loss of your best athletes to other countries. Local sport becomes weaker. Fans get lower quality matches. Why would anyone want that? We should be competing with other countries, not pushing away our best talents. The proposition might say it's about passion, not money, but passion alone doesn't win championships. You need talent, and talent costs money. So for impact that in our side, this will this can benefit many different ways, both the economics and also the athletes, and more other ways, which my teammates will say later. And in conclusion, that's why I strongly agree with the topic that I strongly disagree with the topic that this house believes that the amount of money in professional sport should be reduced. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Today I'll be providing a rebuttal to show and an argument to show why we already kicked this debate. Now I will now move on to my rebuttals without further ado. Proposition stated that if we cut money from these sports clubs, they're all everything. The best athletes will leave, and like there would be almost like a brain drain or a talent drain, as they say. However, this is not true because even the best athletes will still get paychecks. We're not saying that by putting a logical cap on how much we give to the sports means that we're going to be making all the athletes broke and they can't even buy enough food for the next day. We're not saying that at all. We're professional sports, even after what we reduce, will still be at a very high amount. We're saying that we're going to put a cap on this. We're saying that, did you POI?
Yeah.
Oh.
Um,
Yeah.
It's
well,
not yet 1 minute.
Oh.
Can I ask it?
It's not yet 1 minute, sorry.
Oh, so we're not saying that we're going to completely drain all the money from these professional sports players. They're still going to have tons and tons of money. They're rich people and they're still going to be able to play and they're not going to leave. They're not saying that we're not saying that they're all going to leave because they're running out of money and that this cap on these payments are going to make them all leave. This isn't true because they're still getting paid and all the clubs are still getting funding from the sports. So this is completely not true. So now I'll move on to my arguments. Our arguments is that lower prices make the sports cleaner. In the status quo, all these prices are really high and there's almost no there's almost no way to actually gain these. And usually teams that do this or clubs that do this usually resort to doping or even cheating and just illegally taking drugs. However, all these problems can be solved by just putting a cap on these prices. Since if teams have a reasonable budget or reasonable salary that they need to pay to all their players, it would be able to give a chance for each team to actually make reasonable decisions and not have to resort to cheating to even get these payments. We're not saying that this cap is going to make sure that they're gonna be paying these athletes like pennies compared to what they did before. We're just making sure that teams are going to keep it a more fair game. Yes, this small reduce might give a small amount of talent drain if like the greediest of players may want to leave because they want a better pay. However, a majority of this will not happen, and the solutions that this will make the sports more predictable, more stable, and make sure that each sport will become a more fair context of skill. This won't become who has the most money, who can buy the most talent. This is going to become who has more skill, who can actually earn their money, who won't be the ones who are going to leave or just take advantage of all the money that they're getting. We are still going to make sure that they can all pay their people and they can all do what they need to do. We're just making sure that we make a more predictable sport that is benefits that overshade the minuscule amount of talent drain that we can make. We believe that everyday access matters more than a premium cost of all these sports. So we believe that for all these reasons, we are very close.
Judge, imagine settling into your seat for the final of a major tournament. But the players are sluggish, the passing is sloppy, and the whole event feels ordinary. That is not a distant fantasy. It is exactly what would happen if the financial engine of the professional sports were dismantled. Hello, everyone. As the second speaker of opposition, I strongly disagree with the motion. First, I will say my rebuilding and rebuttal. First, our first speaker said that professional sports with much money supports help the economy and creates jobs. But if we cut money, the best athletes may leave, and talent needs money. However, our opponent rebut this by saying that the athletes still get money. They are not saying that they'll cut off all the money. However, first, proposition can't ensure that those money can still let the athletes perform on their best, because in order to perform their best and express their talents, they need a whole team of experts to help them perform on their very best, and that is what the audience wants. So we believe that we have to give them much money for them to perform at the level that the audience would want. Now moving on to my rebuttal. My opponent argued that reducing money can help sports play more fairly. However, as our first speaker already said, talent needs money, so reducing money won't work perfect, as proposition said, because in order to express your talent, just like I said on our rebuilding, you need money. If you only just reduce the money, it may promote athletes to not work on their best, even if they have passion. Now moving on to my argument. Yes.
How does an athlete making 400,000 a week instead of 500,000 make them so that they can perform to their very best, even if they're going to get like way more money and like millions a year still?
But you have to find out like what the money is for. If the athlete just goes on the court and then plays and they get this money, it's not like the money does nothing. So you have to think that the money is paying for your teams. The team is helping to perform for their best. But if we only reduce your money, the audience would not get what they want. My claim is that more money creates higher quality performance. So the quality we see on the pitch, track, or court today does not come cheap. Even if the athletes really love the sport, behind every great athlete is a whole team of experts, and those experts need to be paid in order to help the athletes. Coaches, fitness trainers, doctors, and sports scientists all work together to help the athletes perform at their very best. That support team does very specific, important work. So all these things that help the athletes perform their best, it needs money. If the money were reduced, all of this would begin to disappear. The audiences would not get what they want to see. The game would become slower, less tactical, and less spectacular. What fans pay to see, the breathtaking moments of a world-class skill, will simply happen less often. This is not what audiences want. For example, think of an Olympic sprinter lining up for the 100-meter final. Winning gold is not just about natural talent. Behind the scenes, a paid team of experts studies every step to find just 1/100th of a second of improvement. All these cost significant money. When that money disappears, the magic disappears with it. Fans stop leaning forward in their seats because the sport no longer produces anything truly surprising or extraordinary. The real loss is not the money itself, it is the death of those unforgettable memories that can be really spectacular. So in conclusion, we believe that we should not reduce money because it will stop athletes from performing their best. Thank you.
I have a question for opposition. How does reducing the investment money to the sports league going to affect the training of sports players? This just doesn't make any sense at all. Opposition misunderstand one thing. We're not banning the whole entire money for this. We're not going to remove the whole money. We are reaching the goal that we spend the least amount of money to get the same effectiveness of not reducing the money. We are spending way too much money on a sports league. It was like NBA worth $5 billion. That's insanely a lot. That much cost of money, what does it directly lead to? High cost of ticket. So this is only entertainment for the sports for wealthy people, not for the people that are generalized people. Huge amount of money will also make the competition more predictable, like what our DPM said. Money concentrates to the richest club, they buy the best player, so in the whole time we only see the same team winning and winning and over again. This is not what we want in sport. We want unpredictable, we want more underdogs to come up, and we also want more we also want the sports to be random. We don't know which team will win, we don't know which team will lose. Amount, and then we explained that to solve this, let me restate that, to solve this problem, there's only one way to solve this problem, which government stated out, our side stated out. Reduce the amount of financial money that is invested to this type of sports league. And this is the only way to solve this problem. Yes, I'll take the rebuttal. 3, 2, 1. Okay, no rebuttal. Okay, so two interesting clash I found throughout this debate. So the first clash is the athlete get benefited or does it not get benefited? On the opposition side, they'd be arguing that the athlete is not getting benefited at all. Instead, they're losing something. Well, the truth is that athlete is actually not losing anything. They're still getting earned same amount of the money because of the ticket. Like their contract is still going to tell them what money are they going to earn. So it's not going to affect anything on performance. The only thing that is going to affect is that we're reducing the unnecessary amount of money that is spent in this sports event, and that's why we want this first clash. Second clash is who benefits the audience more. The answer to this, of course, the government side benefits the audience more because we give more of our solution, give more randomness to the sport, so the audience wouldn't know that the same team wins every year, so that eventually the sport will get boring. And the second reason that the ticket will be more cheaper if we reduce the amount of the price. We all know that basic things, and it's the sports wouldn't only be the rich people entertaining, the poor people also get entertaining, the normal people also get entertained too. That's why we benefit the audience more. Throughout this debate, the government side successfully gave out a solution how to benefit the both sides of the athlete, the people that are buying the thing, and how we make this equal, how we make this fair. And then while the opposition failed to actually point out the reason why this thing is actually harmful when we ban this, all they said throughout this debate is oh, the athlete will not perform well. Why would they not perform well? They're still getting paid the same. All it's going to change is the amount of money and financial money that is spent in rebuilding this like place. Well, it doesn't really affect anything. Let me ask you a question: Does reducing $5 billion of like to like $4.9 billion really much difference? No, it wouldn't make much difference. The only difference that it's gonna make, maybe you don't get hot dogs and maybe you don't get popcorn stand, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, POI.
Yes.
It's
As you
already protected time. You can't raise POI.
Okay. Our side, and throughout this debate, our side give the audience what they want to see, and we get more impactful, beneficial to the society using the least amount of money in the sport league. And throughout this debate, opposition also failed to deliver a clear goal of what are they gonna deliver a clear goal of showing us why this is a bad solution. And then their best case throughout this debate is just banning this filtering money from professional player. But there's two reasons why that works. Why we are reducing the money invested in sport, not the money that we're sending, not reducing the money that the professional player is getting. And also, this doesn't really stand at all because like we banning this will only like reduce the ticket price and the threat of exploitation. I think the opposition didn't really listen to this. Instead, they just come up with like more things, which I can assume that they're just coming up with like imaginary optimistic solution to this. And in conclusion, our side give much more beneficial solution to this issue and supporting the fact that everybody deserves the same entertainment, not only the rich, and we make sports league entertainment great again. And opposition failed to prove us what actual harm reducing the money and then like will create, and we also prove how reducing the amount of money can create more benefit. Proud to oppose.
Hello everyone, I am the third speaker from opposition and we strongly disagree with the motion. First, we have two clash here, and our first clash is that is it necessary to put these money into sports? The proposition's answer is no. They explain this by it cannot solve real question in real life, and they also said about the less money can make the sport be more unpredictable. Like today is A team and come to do this to play this game, and another day is B team to come to play this game. I think it's and in our side we think that it's completely necessary to put in monies because we think that we need good athletes and proposition always says that the athletes will be paid as the same as before, but where do you want to increase the money? I mean, like if you are saying that athletes are paying by before and like the gym will still be built and there's nobody losing their job, then where's the money is increasing from? So this and it is actually necessary to put in money because it led others to see this had others to see that the small countries that actually is very that actually work very hard, like Cabo Verde surprise everyone in the World Cup because they got a very successful things and actually the clubs like others will pay tasks and the task can help others like paying money in sports also means that we are teaching small or young people to be talented in sports and so in the future they can also work in these like clubs or work for the country. And another clash is that do the athletes have the same pay? So proposition explains this by actually they will have the same pay, but I have a question is that if they are having the same pay and no one are losing job, and also there still need to have gym and also still need to let them like transport to other country, then where do the money can we increase? Are we increasing just like we are increasing $80 because we can't let all the people to drink water, is it? It's completely not. So uh it's actually about that if you are not letting the athletes pay to get to increase, there's no where the money you can increase. Like so for these reasons, I think that our team completely wins this debate. Thank you, everyone.
At the reply speaker, I think that our team wins because we win on more clashes. First, we win on taxes. The proposition says that take away money from sports and give it to other places like environment. But they are wrong. Players already pay billions in taxes. That money already goes to different places like schools and hospitals and environment. If we cut players' they pay less tax. That means less money for other places too. The proposition plan actually hurts the things they want to help. Second, we win on merit. Athletes work incredibly hard. They train every day for years. They risk their bodies. They have short careers. Most retire by age like 35 or something. They deserve their money. If you have the talent to earn millions, why wouldn't you take it? Of course. Why punish success? Third, we win on kids. The proposition says that sports money doesn't help other, but what about the children? Professional clubs found young youth academies. They build different pitches and pay all the coaches. Without that money, millions of the kids lose their chance to play. Taking away that opportunity is cruel. The proposition says that they care about fairness, but what's really unfair is destroying jobs and take away the children's dreams. Sport is not the enemy. It creates jobs. It pays taxes. It inspires millions. If you believe in hard work, vote for us. If you believe in opportunity, vote for us. If you believe in sports matters, vote for us. We win this debate because we stand for what's right. Thank you.
I think we won this debate because there's multiple reasons why, and our arguments stand more since that the other teams are creating the same stuff. And also, my first reason why we won the debate is that like the other team is trying to say that athletes will leave like once their salary goes down like monthly. Like I don't know what they're saying. Like, do you know like they sign contracts pay them for like 10 to like a lot of years, like just saying in general, which is like have zero correlation like with like these like salary that they pay like very like monthly and stuff. And also the other team is literally saying like these players pay billions in taxes. Like only a few people have like a few billion of dollars like these like sports players. Like are you saying like they need to pay 100% tax rate? Like are you in North Korea or something? I don't know. Like, are you in North Korea? And the third reason is that like we're trying to remove unnecessary money spending. Instead, on sports, we're gonna use on better things instead of this stuff. And also, the other team is trying to say that like they won because like they're trying to like pay taxes and stuff like which they already pay, so like it's already happened. Isn't that common sense that companies pay taxes like? So this doesn't bring anything useful to this debate. So, in conclusion, I think our team provided more reasonable arguments and reasonable things. At least we didn't say we pay a person pays 100% tax rate or